Hey, what's up guys? Today I wanted to share a success story from my Merch by Amazon Facebook group, which of course is linked in the description below, but we're going to be highlighting somebody's story that they shared where they basically took a year off from Merch by Amazon, and you can actually see in their sales screenshot, which is in the thumbnail behind me, that they were not rewarded for taking a year off. I'm doing the math in my head. They maybe made let's say 20 sales over the course of a year when they weren't uploading new designs. But then they rededicated themselves to generating a new slash to cultivating this income stream. I don't know if you want to call it new. If you take a year off, then you come back to it, it probably feels new. And they rededicated themselves to it. And in the month of July, which is not like historically a really great month, they absolutely crushed it. And that was while in tier 100. So in this video, I'm going to share their tips with you, and hopefully you'll learn something new that you can implement. But let's get started. Really quickly, take advantage of the free weekly print-on-demand giveaway. 2 winners are going to be selected and announced this Sunday, and they'll receive a license to Flying Research, print-on-demand research tools, AutomatePOD, print-on-demand design creation automation, All-American Graphics, premium Premade graphics to help you with your designs, and Bubble Scout, the only Redbubble niche research and validation tool. You'll find a link at the top of the description. Also, while you're down there, take advantage of my 7-day Amazon merch mini course and my Merch by Amazon Facebook group. All right, so here is again a glimpse at the sales increase, the massive spike in sales that was a direct result of this member of my Facebook group rededicating themselves to their Merch by Amazon efforts and growing and scaling their account. They did this while in tier 100. So I kind of broke up they wrote out a kind of a long post of just some suggestions, and I figured this is a great opportunity to hear from somebody that's not me, on, somebody who's achieved a level of success that I think most of us are impressed by, and just hearing from them some tips. So let's go through it really quickly. So they say straightforward tips and motivation. Disclaimer: I'm not a pro or expert, just trying to share suggestions based on my personal experience with Merch by Amazon. So if you stop hustling, you'll hardly see any sales. Like I said, I took around 1 year gap from Merch by Amazon, and I was at tier 100 then. Couple of sellable items were there that made me very few sales sometimes. I'm a freelance graphic designer and I have a full-time job. That's why it became hard for me to invest time in Merch by Amazon and had to take the gap. One note that I would just throw in here, guys, is like, if you're feeling like you don't have time to dedicate to Merch by Amazon, just please keep in mind that like doing something's always better than doing nothing. And you can create text-only designs where you just go into Photopea or Photoshop or Canva or wherever, pick a big bold font and just write a word. It doesn't even matter what the word is, then go upload it. That's better than doing nothing. Okay, I just want to quickly make that statement because I promise you it is better than doing nothing, and it only takes like 2 minutes to make a text-based white text against a black t-shirt design and upload it to Merch by Amazon. So I would highly suggest considering doing that, even if you feel like you don't have enough time in the day. 2 minutes. In reality, maybe it's 3 minutes, but 2 minutes, all right? For me, it's 2. All right, next, continuing. But on last June, I rethought about it and set a determination that enough is enough. I have to invest time in Merch by Amazon. Now I'm working hard and double time for Merch by Amazon, plus my full-time job. You can see my efforts are reflected in my sales from July. So here again is a screenshot of his sales, and I guess he probably rededicated himself, if I had to guess, in June, where his sales jumped from like the previous, 10 months or so, ranging from 1 to 9, on average, probably 4 or 5 sales. June, we see it spike to 17, and then July, 256 sales. And then August, 63 sales. And hopefully that number will continue to grow. And then for sure, as we head into the fourth quarter, he'll be rewarded. Like, honestly, if you're going to rededicate yourself to Merch by Amazon or to print on demand or e-commerce in general, right now in September is a really great time to consider that, because we already know December is where it's at, November is where it's at, even October, it really ramps up. So you want to capitalize on the increased sales potential. All right, resuming. So please keep hustling, research, upload quality designs. Lots of free resources are on YouTube and blogs to learn. Just go for them. Project a timeline where you want to see your account at the end of the year. What is your target revenue per month from Merch by Amazon, etc. Once you pass your learning curve, you'll enjoy this Merch by Amazon journey for sure. Mark my words. And yes, everybody enjoys, guys. Everybody loves seeing those sales, hearing the cha-ching sound. I think it's a momentous day for any Merch by Amazon seller when you get tired of hearing the pretty merch cha-ching and you turn it off. All right, that's like honestly one of the best days ever because then you don't have to hear it anymore. But also it's kind of like, you know what, you climb that mountain and you've heard it enough times where it's going to drive you crazy if you hear it one more time. The little cash register. Research tips. Go to Amazon search bar. So these are research tips. All right, go to the Amazon search bar. Start with anything, any keyword that comes to your mind. If you're confused where to start. And honestly, I agree. This does work. All right, you literally type in anything and you just drill down, drill down, drill down. So resuming, he says, now dig, dig, and dig. Make sure to end up with a profitable, low competition sub-niche, or make sure to come up with a unique cross-niche idea that you feel might make a sale. Hey, you got my agreement there on both of those. Sub-niche down so that you're not competing with, 10,000 or 20,000 designs when only I think 48 of them show up on the first page of results, or do a unique cross-niche idea. World's best nursing aunt, right? Like you're targeting aunts that work as a nurse, things like that. Resuming, check trademarks, make sure you select the niche or idea, and make sure it's safe to use. So always go to tmsearch.uspto.gov or trademarkia.com. They both work, and make sure you check your trademarks. And also validate on the marketplace you intend to sell on as well, because sometimes the trademark is fine and you should be okay, but for whatever reason, the marketplace blocks your ability to post there. So again, I agree there. Also validate on your marketplaces. All right, then he says, now comes design. Take a snap of competitors' design and put aside your Illustrator or Affinity artboard while you're designing your own. So use your competitors that you see are working as inspiration is what he's saying. Now make sure your design withstands the competitors' designs, so design accordingly. This is what I call design benchmark. So I think he's suggesting that you make sure your design is better than your competitors, or at a minimum, something similar. You don't want to clone anybody's designs, but like typically the best sellers in a niche are best sellers for a reason. Like they understood the niche, or they're just really good designers. So use it as inspiration. Now comes the listing keywords part, which is very important. Use keywords that are only relevant to your design and niche. Try to make meaningful, complete sentences. Don't just throw the keywords in a listing, so don't keyword stuff. Open a notepad or Excel sheet and prepare your listings, title, brand, and bullets. By the way, I agree with that. I always like to have my stuff written down in Notepad. I use Notepad++. I always keep it open, but as a web developer, I was used to doing that. But that way, if you upload a similar listing, or you upload it to Merch by Amazon, but then you upload it to Etsy and eBay, you've got all your keywords in one spot, so you don't have to retype everything. So it's good advice. All right, resuming, he says, cheers, you're ready to upload your design. One thing to mention, I'm never afraid of pricing. I always start with $18.99 without any doubt. Once I get a review, then I make it $19.99, but pricing is totally up to you. I agree there as well. It really, you can get a feel for what works as far as pricing goes. If you're under $19.99, which again is the default, then you have an edge over the people who just keep the default pricing, which is $19.99, because customers can always search by price low to high, and you're more likely to show up before the $19.99 majority of shirts. I'm just going to guess that's the majority, because if it's the default, it would make sense to be the majority. But depending on what your tier is, you may want to price at the floor, standard t-shirt, $13.07. You're not making any profit, but you are creating an extra incentive for a potential customer to click your listing instead of one of your competitors. And then, you're kind of deferring profitability, but aiming to scale up your account as quickly as possible, which I'm a big fan of, to get out of those lower tiers, because obviously when you have more upload slots, you get more coverage, more flexibility. I think it opens the door to making a lot more money. Unless you're in like some hyper competitive niche and you've got a really well ranking shirt, in which case, get that money, you know what I mean? Increase your prices and capture, when you capture fire in a bottle, get that money from it. So here again are his sales. If you'd like to meet him and maybe ask him a question, all you got to do is join my Merch by Amazon Facebook group. I know it was a very active thread, and he was, active in responding to people that had questions. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to hit that like button if you did. And before I leave, just wanted to remind you, I wrote a full Merch by Amazon course that I'm actively updating, keeping up to date, showing you how I took my account from tier 10 to tier 200,000. If you would like to learn from me how I did that, check out the link in the description. And thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.